Hey, everybody. I'm Jeff Pollard at solarpowerthepeople.org and Jeff Pollard 11 on Instagram. I'm here with Stevie Deal. What's your deal? Who are you, Stevie? I'm sure that was a really original joke, right? But no,
Yeah.
please.
I haven't heard it in a while though, so maybe it'll make the comeback.
Okay. But please tell us who are you? What are you about?
I am Stevie. I call myself the page wielding or page turning sword wielding fitish bookworm. So I am a health and wellness coach, and also a like balanced lifestyle coach. And what that means is I help people decide like what works for them diet nutrition wise, because if you follow me on any of my socials, you know that all diets work, but they don't all work for every person. And it really is about learning to listen to your body and how it reacts to things. And that ties into people who menstruate. I help work with them to help them figure out like how their training and nutrition is impacted by that. And also it ties into the moon and how you can set goals by the moon cycles and how like astrology backs that up too. So that's I'm also a bookworm. And then the sword wielding part is because of a book. I got into Valkyrie training, which when all my workouts went from being super boring things that I did as a to-do list task to maces and sword training and combat. And if you live in the houses behind me and you see me crawling through the field, that's a normal workout for my day. And really finding other people who really want to do that too. Like people who read, we don't want to run and we don't want to lift heavy things. We want to beat the crap out of things with weapons.
Okay. Now, can you tell the viewers, I record in California. Whereabouts are you?
I'm in Indianapolis.
Okay. And do you have rougher terrain? Did you have to set up something for this kind of workout when you do that stuff? Or
So Indianapolis is like where the glaciers like smushed everything flat. So if
okay.
you go north or south, we tend to have some more mountainy areas, but we have 9 acres at my house that's just like flat field. So I'll
Okay.
just go out there and like I'll carry tires, I'll take my sword and beat up trees, I'll like army crawl across the ground.
Okay. Now, how did this persona of yours come about? How did you fall in love with all these things? Because you named, I mean, astrology, that's a big one, but that's different from the Valkyrie thing. And then it's like fitness and all. So how did this all come about? How'd you find all this?
So it was like I'm a bookworm, if you couldn't tell by the page turning part. So like I was reading all of these things and all of a sudden all of my interests like converged into one. Because when you like plan goals by the moon and use astrology, it's all a cycle. When you menstruate, it's a cycle. And feeling like when you learn to listen to your body, it's being really intuitive. And the Valkyrie thing came from a book, if anyone has read the series A Court of Thorns and Roses, the fifth book. It's not really a spoiler, but there's Valkyrie in there. And I was like, I want to do this. And that actually shifted me to like, now I hang out with a whole bunch of people who like are into Norse mythology. I actually started working at an axe throwing facility that's heavily Norse influenced. And so I'm just like, oh, like all of these things that suddenly seemed random in my life all converged into this one thing. And I was like, all of these random pieces like are suddenly all clicked together and everything makes sense now.
Okay. Now, I mean, along a similar thing, my father, as I was growing up, he's like, I always wanted to have a Viking funeral. And so I figure I'm gonna have to adopt that because it just sounds so cool to be on a boat. Someone archers a burning arrow and burns me. But anyway, that's just like my version of your Valkyrie and Mason and all that stuff. And that's very cool. So with all that, is there maybe like a feel, like, can you give us like a kind of a setup of if somebody were to reach out to you and want your help, what do we do? What do we do? Like,
A
what are the
lot of it
first?
is the health coaching and goal setting. So it like when you base on the moon, we have 13 moons cycles per year, and that'll hit every 12 houses that you have. So some of those we're going to be working on yourself and mental health and like nutrition and fitness all kind of go in together as a pillar of exercise. Whatever your goal is, you really have to lock in on all of those things and learn how to listen to your body to know like, do I want to work out today? Do I need to rest? What is my body asking me for? So they all kind of tie into this cycle of knowing what works for you. And so like when people come to me with their health goals, I'm not just giving you a plan and being like, hey, here you go. like, okay, I start everyone pretty much on a base thing because most people don't have a solid foundation because there's just so much information out there. And then we start to tweak, like, okay, if I add this in, what happens? All right, that didn't go well, we're going to take this out. Or maybe it's we need to add this in because you might have some kind of deficiency, or maybe you need some more water, or like a lot of women need electrolytes, especially like where they are in their cycle. And it's knowing those things, being like, okay, try this, tell me what happens. And this is why. And then I explained to them, like, this is why we're doing this. You're going to tell me what happened, and we're going to see if that's what you need.
Okay. Now, ignorant question, but just because you've mentioned the menstrual thing, is it just women you primarily work with, or do you work with both or all types, or?
I work with all types. It's just I tend to attract people like me, so a lot of them are women. I do
Okay.
have male customers. Typically, they're just people who want to live healthier. So like bodybuilders really aren't like my niche.
Right.
Like if you want to like do a bikini show, I did that diet once, and like
Right.
it was fun, but I don't ever want to do it again. And so like that would be like, hey, I have this friend that does this. Like you should talk to them. They're going to be great for that.
Got it. Okay. Now, do you do primarily Zoom, in person, both, one or the other for this help?
I could I can do both. But I will say that most of my customer base does not live in Indianapolis. So it's a lot of Zoom and messaging back and forth because they're all those people that don't want to talk to you on the phone and they don't want to think, but they'll text you all day long. That's fine.
Okay, cool. Well, I guess then finally, because you spelled it out perfectly. I always sometimes occasionally like to end the show with just a random piece of advice. So it could be related to what you're doing. It could just be whatever comes to mind. But like, how would you, if you like could give some advice to somebody just to make either their life better or the world better, what would you want to do, or what do you advise?
My advice is always listen to your body. If you like, for example, like carbs are the enemy right now. If you are not feeling great or you absolutely love carbs, you can absolutely eat them. Like there are very few people who should not be eating carbohydrates at this point, and like it's such a minute thing that it's probably not you. And you should enjoy your workouts. If your workout doesn't get you excited and it's like a checklist that you just knock off every day because that's what you're supposed to do, you should really ask yourself, why am I exercising? What is my goal? What do I want to do? And then train for that. Even if it is the zombie apocalypse or war or battle, like have fun while you're doing it.
Okay, I do love those zombie runs. I haven't done one yet, but I want to. So thank you, Stevie. All her info and stuff will either be in the bio links or in the social media when I post all that stuff, so you can see her there. I really appreciate you having a chat with me. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. All right. See you, everybody. Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed the video. I have some exciting news. I teamed up with Blueview Shoes. That's a shoe company that makes 100% biodegradable shoe. That's 100% eco-friendly. I have a pair myself. They're stylish, they're comfortable, they do the job. If you want a pair yourselves, look in the description box for any links or discounts, or wherever links are found depending on where I post this. You'll be helping the little guy, that's me, and you'll be helping a company that truly cares. That's Blueview Shoes, a shoe that is 100% biodegradable. Leave only footprints.